graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Previously on Welcome to Show.
A zombie that runs is about as what's the word I'm looking for? About as useful as a vampire in the sun.
Unless you're Bob Pattinson and you bling.
Yeah. Oh, bigger to the zombie. Oh, yeah, got bigger to the zombie. Look at the big. Oh, she would they make it flag. If she's got a regular body, she's just blue. Just get a little vegetable oil down there.
What
Put a Twi'lek hat on her?
No, what do they do? What do they do in what is it called in the Kill Bill Part 1? Is get a little bit of Vaseline.
There you go.
Yeah, because this bitch is dry as fuck. Yeah, just do that.
But if she was really a zombie,
No, she's a zombie.
so you'd be necrophiliac.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
would.
would. You sick fuck.
As Lou just said earlier, if we're gonna cut hairs here,
Gooch. If the hot zombie chick,
Yeah.
if by fucking her you became a zombie, would you do it?
ooh, you have to give up your humanity.
You know what?
That's an easy answer. No.
No, you know what? Rigor mortis makes the shit stay hard all the time.
His dream is achieved. Harder than 2 minutes.
I'm proud to say this is my friend. Deviants, welcome to show. I am the Clitoris, and I am here with
The Grudge.
And the Diva Slough.
and we are the Social Deviants, who are here today to finalize our trilogy about the zombie genus of the undead. And we want to talk today about our top zombie games. This is very important. As much as we've mostly talked about zombie films, actually zombie games are like a big part of the industry.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
And not only, and we've talked about this a little bit, but not only are they like a zombie video game is a big thing, just because if it's a zombie apocalypse, people want to play that. People want to find some way to navigate that. But also, appropriating zombies onto an existing game type, like the Call of Duty zombie packs, is also interesting for people. Like they want to be able to do what they do in some other game, but they're doing it to zombies. So how do you guys feel like, I definitely know that the zombie never existed in games before it existed in the modern sense that it does since George Romero, because video games aren't really older than the original Night of the
70s.
Dead movie, right?
Right.
Night of the Living Dead movie. So
80s,
so I don't
70s,
think that
80s,
there are any.
yeah.
Are there any games that have like the original, like the Haitian style zombie?
No, nothing like that.
So they're all the.
If anything, there's maybe like Bayou Billy that might have a Haitian
No,
zombie
exactly. I
in
mean,
it,
it's a slow moving corpse that wants to eat your flesh. That's what.
well,
that's,
it's your typical like hands out, sort of
that's
not
what you'll
Frankenstein sort of thing.
yeah,
but
and that's
like,
what the zombie is in most video games. Even in like 8-bit versions, when you had zombies, that's what that was.
And then there's no other special characteristic about it. It was just an enemy. You know,
Yeah,
it's not like it would like eat your brains.
and
They're
then
the perfect. They're the perfect like just mindless mob.
And they tend to be the fodder enemy, to be honest.
Yeah, really,
Like
really.
the
Exactly.
yes,
They're the perfect
yes,
for
a
that.
zombie, a ghoul, or something that's easy to kill. It tends to be like the beginning enemy. So.
Yeah.
So let's start off with some honorable mention games.
Okay.
For you before we get into our top 5. Gooch.
Okay, so this was hard for me, to be honest with you, because honestly, I don't think like the add-ons to like the Call of Duties and all that stuff actually count, because it's not like the base game.
Okay.
So I mean, a lot of people are like, well, you're being a bitch. You're not supposed to be the douche for saying that. But like, I don't.
I mean, let's be clear. You are a bitch. And
I am a douche, but like,
regardless of
a straight up zombie game. I hate these type of games. I guess, I mean, a lot of people like them, like the survival zombie games. So like 7 Days to Die, DayZ.
Are there any zombie games that are not survival?
There are. I mean, I'm gonna mention them now because, but survival. I mean, it's like it's like you're pretty much thrown in the middle of a fucking field, and you're like, okay, I found a rock. I'm gonna find this rock. This rock is gonna be my savior. This is what I'm gonna find until I find a stick to put this rock to. That's the survival game.
I am gonna throw. Sorry, I was gonna say I'm gonna throw one game out there that's technically a zombie game that nobody ever thinks is a zombie game, but you are the zombie, and you have to fight your way through. Altered Beast. The very beginning of the game, he says, "Rise from your grave."
You are this. I guess you're a zombie, but then you get turned into like
a badass wolf with two heads.
You turn into a wolf, a dragon,
It's not a
a
lycanthrope.
bear. No,
They're not. It's not a lycanthrope.
No, he's just dude.
No,
Zeus,
he's not, but-
Zeus. What is he
This fool
pulls
just
you
said
out.
Zeus.
It is Zeus.
Is it Zeus?
It's Zeus. Zeus
not.
rises you from his grave. No, it would.
But rise from your grave.
Was Lazarus was a zombie?
I don't get me into this fucking bullshit ass religious shit. All I know is that it's Zeus in the game. Okay, Zeus is the one.
Don't
that
give me
picks
this ass bullshit, fucking bullshit, ass fucking religious bullshit.
Yeah, all right. Anyways, all right.
Altered Beast, yes, that's my honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Jesus is a zombie.
Yeah, he is.
He is. And he also built my hot rod.
I'll give the honorable mention.
I love that song. Oh, I love that track.
I'll give my honorable mentions to all the Call of Duty zombie games.
Because they're decent.
They're decent,
fun.
and they're like they're wave games. So it's like you just to have a good time with your friends to see how long you guys can last against a bunch of undead bullshit.
And it's not jerking each other off.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the circle jerk is more fun, but hey. All right, what about your honorable mentions?
That's the longest.
Okay, my honorable mentions. Dead Rising. It didn't make my top 5. It's like right there though.
Wow.
But it just didn't make my top 5. That's why. Doom. I mean, you don't think Ghosts and Goblins. You don't think Half-Life.
I don't know.
It's a good game. But apparently
There's some zombies in it, but it's like a sci-fi movie.
I
It's
get
like-
that.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein. We just discussed Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Like,
There's zombie
I even think the
Nazis.
I think the new one doesn't even have fucking has zombies in it.
No,
It's
I
all
think
bunch of
so.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Area 51 has zombies.
Yeah, I guess so. But they're like alien zombies.
Is that the arcade shooter game?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
arcade super game.
House of the
It's
Dead.
all aliens.
It's not in my top 5, but it is a zombie game.
Yeah, House of
House
the
of
Dead.
the
Yeah.
Dead, yeah.
Warcraft 3 has some zombies.
That's bold. That's dumb.
I know.
knew you were gonna be so
Hey,
upset.
Gooch. I know Clint's just looking up on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's exactly. I'm like, I looked at these games. Like half of those games, I spat at. I was like, what? It said.
I spit on your
I said
forewings.
it said Warcraft 3, and
I
it's
spat at.
and it's other it's other games after it. I was like, I mean, what? You mean?
Like
WoW?
expansions.
You're saying WoW is a fucking zombie game? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Okay,
dude.
there's one other game that I wanted to say as my honorable mention. It has a zombie in it, but it's not a zombie game.
What is it?
fucking
Bust a Move.
Bust a
Oh,
Move.
come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Bio,
dude.
he's a zombie.
It's part 2, by the way.
He's a pirate zombie.
It's part
Yeah.
2. Yeah, it's part 2.
By the way,
Boom.
you know in
Boom.
the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Davy Jones.
Oh my god, that's on that list. I was like, this is stupid.
He's
Technically a zombie game.
He's a zombie, right?
It is.
He's so Gooch is so.
Those are fucking dumb.
He's so pained.
He's fucking stupid. Devo,
He's
give
in
us
the
your
water.
garbage list.
We're starting number 5.
You hear that?
No, this is your honorable mentions.
You already
Alright.
said your list is shitty.
After listening to this fool's, I'm assuming you're listening to me shitty.
Nah, it's honorable mentions is tough, dude. It's like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm
We'll put
Street,
that shit on there.
Castlevania. You fight zombies in that one.
Yeah,
Jason's
there you
a
go.
zombie.
Joe, fuck Jason's
but
on there.
no,
Put
but,
that
but
on that
like
shit.
even in when you're running around like to the different campsites, you're fighting zombies.
Jason is.
No, you are as a camp counselor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because like you run around and like you have to find Jason before he kills like a kid in a cabin, but you have to fight zombies and like birds.
Well, shit, you might as well put the Nightmare on Elm Street game that's on.
I just
He
said
just said
Nightmare on
it.
Elm Street,
Oh,
yeah.
I
What about
thought you-
Moonwalker?
I thought you said on.
Oh,
Oh, you do. You go
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
grave.
you
and
go to the grave, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
A zombie game.
yeah. So
Stop it,
There you
Gooch.
go.
You're so
Hey,
exasperated.
Lucho, typing of the dead. How's that?
Dude, that's actually more zombie than this.
All right, Gooch, number 5. Let's get into the
these
real
are-
meat of it.
This would be so terrible, dude. I'm telling
Moonwalker,
you.
baby.
I got a really good one.
Number 5, the Lollipop Chainsaw. I'm gonna say it's number 5 because you're a fucking blonde-haired bimbo with a chainsaw killing zombies,
Yep.
and that's bottom line what people want to see.
Scantily clad.
Yeah, and like if you're a pervert, and like if you have the
Good.
All right, so if we're all perverts,
If you are me,
and you have
If you're a man.
if you have like an Xbox 360, right, and you put the angle of your camera correctly right where you're just looking down at her down up at her skirt, like so you're looking at her underwear for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You get an achievement saying you fucking pervert or something like that. It's
Only on the
fucking-
Xbox version?
I think it's an achievement on that. Like it's one of the achievements. You get on it.
Venice.
It's very. It's like hella funny because it's like, and she'll like what are you looking at type thing, you know. And,
What do you think I'm looking at? My number 5 is Dying Light.
Okay.
I
that's
just
a good movie. That's a good game.
that
That's
game.
the first person survivor game, right?
Yeah, that game. I mean, it obviously had like parkour elements to it.
Yes.
but
Did you play it?
like a Mirror's
Yeah.
Edge.
I
Like
did.
Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing I liked about that game a lot was it really gave you this sense of panic
Yeah.
because there's so many coming at you, and they're so fast, and you have to think so quickly that. I mean, obviously, when it's light outside, and I think there's some aspect of like the day and the light with these zombies.
Yeah.
Uh,
in the day, there's
they're
not
slow,
as many.
yeah.
They're slower.
No, I
like, you
know,
can
and
move around
in the
more.
night that you get like the more powerful ones.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
there's an aspect where there's like a problem, like a puzzle type game, like Mirror's Edge was during the day, but at night it really is like this survival thing, and it was just you were just very. It was one of the few games, especially in these games, where like you were like panicked, but not for just a moment. You were panicked for like long periods of time.
Yeah.
Which was like it's a very difficult thing to sort of generate in a game.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good game and I liked it.
Yeah. My number 5 was a game called Infected. It was for the PlayStation Portable. And what was cool about this game is that you play the game and you would connect online and you fight other people, but their zombies and their game can infect your game. So like say they were playing and they like their world or their little like city was like more infected than yours, their zombies can infect your world, and like you would have to like you'd have that much more zombies to have to fight. One thing that was cool about this game too, unlockable characters, the entire roster of Slipknot. Every single character were every single
All 9 dudes.
All 9 dudes were unlockable characters.
And
It
they
was-
had like all different powers and stuff like that.
I don't remember if they had different characters, but like I remember you unlock Corey, you unlock Sid, you unlock. They were
Did they do
all,
music for the game?
I think they might have had like one track on there, but like
Psychosocial.
the big thing was the fact that you could play as the Slipknot characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like, but the most interesting about it is that like you could play online with somebody else, but like your game can infect their game, and like things that you achieve or like say like you broke down a certain building or like certain things happen in your game would affect that other person's game.
It'd be broken in the other game.
And then that person's game would affect somebody else's game. So like it was very, very interesting and very
like a meta game.
exactly something that I have not seen happen recently in a game.
My number 4
Yes, sir.
is the Killing Floor series. I don't know. It's a Steam. I don't know if it's on console yet, but
No, I don't think so.
it's a Steam game, and it pretty much you take your classes, right, and you pretty much set yourself against the horde of the undead. It's pretty much what.
Is it a top shooter?
No, it's a first person shooter.
Okay.
Right. So it's pretty much what like the like the Call of Duty like add-ons that you
Yeah.
have, but it's
wave after
it's
wave.
it's a standalone game, and the way they do it, like the way you kill the mob, especially in part 2, because obviously they made it better in part 2. It's a whole lot of fun, especially when you have a bunch of your close friends just killing zombies, killing the big honking guys. You have fire, you burn the shit out of the zombie. It's a really, really fun zombie game. I would if anyone's out there has Steam and wants to play a good game, I would try it.
Okay.
My number 4 is The Last of Us.
yeah.
I think it's obvious why that game's on the list. It's some people consider it one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the best games of the year in which it was released. It's I think it really is what it's like a Resident Evil-ish type game. That style of game, the way it's constructed, it just made it very Heavy Rain-ish in
Okay.
a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like not as interactive as Heavy Rain, but the way in which the story unfolds and made it very it was just a really good game, and had some stuff in there that I think people really thought was very cinematic.
Okay.
More than maybe some other of the zombie type games.
My number 4 is Resident Evil 2. And what's interesting about this is that, like, as I think back on it, it's not necessarily like it's a zombie game, but it's not a zombie game.
Right.
Like, you deal with a lot of like mutants. You deal with a lot of I think mutants is the best word, because there are undead, but there are also like laboratory creations, and they're all coming after you. They're all trying to kill you, but it's based off a zombie virus, and it's touted as a zombie game, and it was. I remember it was weird. Like the version that I had got, I don't know if there was something unlocked on it, which is weird because on the PlayStation you had memory cards, right? And when I started the game, my character had a rocket launcher. So I was just running through, like, just blasting things with a rocket launcher. Because you start the game, you got nothing, right?
Yeah, you should like literally have nothing with no ammo.
And you got to go find a gun. You got to go find this. But like, I started off with a rocket launcher, so I was like, okay, I'll just blast the shit out of everything here. But Resident Evil 2 had, like, for me, it was at that point. You look at Zombies Ate My Neighbors and like all these other things. Like, at that point was probably like the quintessential zombie game.
My number 3 is the Resident Evil. Franchise, I suppose. I mean, some of the games were very good, but I would say the franchise, because I mean, I didn't play them initially, mind you, because I didn't have consoles. The consoles that had them, I played them recently because they released them on Steam. But I mean, growing up, I mean, you heard of the Resident Evil games. I mean, those were the zombie games, and until recently, I understood why they were that way. I mean, that maybe some people would have them higher on the list, but you think of Resident Evil, you think of a zombie game. That's what you think of when you think of Biohazard. Biohazard. It's a zombie game. That's what it is. And true, there are mutants, but they're pretty much dead, reanimated flesh. And that's what they are. And they might have been mutated into other things by the T virus or whatever fucking virus that they have there. But I mean, great game. The remastered ones I played are amazing. So, Clinton.
My number 3 is actually, and it's funny because I think that I wonder what Cooch is going to say, if he will
the Cooch,
if he will dispute this as a valid zombie game, but I actually do think it's a zombie game, and I think it's fantastic. Dead Space.
Ooh.
They are zombies, but the reason why they're zombies is some alien influence. But technically they're zombies, and yes, they are mutated in the way that, like, they very, very much in the way that they are in Resident Evil. But I just want to say that first of all, the story for Dead Space is one of the best creations of a new universe.
Yeah, I agree.
In
that
a
was
video
good. That was a good
game
one.
ever. It's fucking amazing, and it really is plausible in a lot of ways because they don't really go too far. They don't veer too far away from what we know as could be possible. Obviously, it's got laser guns and shit like that, but like planet cracking is like you're making some like what I love about it is you're making some game that's essentially about you have to go through and kill all these monsters and stay alive, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just doing that, they actually created this whole mythos behind it where like they do this thing called planet cracking, and then they're trying to get the minerals from that planet, like uninhabited planets, and they encounter some planet that doesn't have beings on it, but there's like some like monolith there that is like infects people. It like infects people in some way.
Yeah.
They become like these monsters, and like to come up with this idea and then to like expound upon it in future games, and the way that they set up, like the way that you stay alive, like you have the little spine thing on the back, and the way that you sort of like upgrade your weapons, it's like an RPG-ish type thing. I just think it's one of the best constructed survival horror games. It's technically zombies, and it was fucking frightening. There's some scenes, especially when you go into zero gravity, there's no sound.
No,
Yeah.
it was great.
Oh, yeah.
And
It
it's
was
like
great.
they just come out of nowhere, and you're just like, oh, or like you're in some area where there's no gravity, and you have to navigate that while these fucking monsters are coming after you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they just can't get to you unless you you have to contend with this zero. Just there's things in that game as far as survival horror goes that I don't think I've ever seen attempted in a game before.
Nice. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh, classic.
Number 3. It's we kind of talked about this a little bit. It's not necessarily a zombie game. Like your first level, you fight against zombies, and I think in a couple other levels they're like more zombie-ish characters. It's mostly a horror sort of game because you fight zombies, vampires, Frankensteins, all sorts of things. But it's called Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Made for the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. It's a typical run-around directional shooter. So fun. Whenever Lucho and I get together and we're like, we just want to play like video games. We just want a game. Some games we always play are X-Men the Arcade. Not Alter Beast. What's another game that we play a lot?
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time. And
If we can get the Michael Jackson game running,
Moonwalker,
yeah, we can
and
work on
also
Moonwalker, yeah.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
You know, the great thing about it is that the last level, like the secret level, is actually because the game was made by LucasArts, by the way, right? So the last level of this game is you going around like the LucasArts like studio.
Yeah.
And like trying to save the LucasArts people, but you end up like killing them too.
Ah.
It's really cool. So it's a great SNES camp game, but it's really good. So my number 2 is gonna be my last 2 are probably the 2 games that I played the most that involve with zombies, and my number 2 is gonna be Dying Light.
Great game.
It's a great game. All the stuff that obviously we said earlier about it is true. It's absolutely true. You know, you're like you're leveling. You first start with you find a pipe or something. You have to fight off these zombies.
You
with
gotta smoke it.
the pipe, exactly, smoke it or whatever. And as you upgrade your character, you get stronger. And the first time you fight, I forgot what they're called, like the really strong like night monsters, the ones that you have to like throw down a flare to keep them away from you. That's how you do it, but you throw down a flare to keep them away from you. You have to make these flares. But like the first time you actually be able to beat these things, you're like, yeah, I got you piece of shit,
Yeah.
And then after a while, it becomes, I didn't play like the expansions and like the stuff, but like after a while, you get so powerful. It's funny because and it's obviously more fun with your friends. All these games.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Every single zombie game I played, it's more fun with your friends, except for I guess for Last of Us, it's like a single player game.
Yes.
I didn't really play that one.
Resident Evil is too.
Yeah, Resident Evil is too. But like Dying Light is the whole thing is playing with your friends. So I remember one time I was with my friend Bob, Ick, and my friend Mavor, the guys I play online with. It was night. We did all the things to get all the zombies to us because you have like the zombie calls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we were standing on top of a gas station, and there was explosible stuff there. So we threw all the zombies everywhere. Oh, Clint had the scenes there.
Ah.
Blew up the whole freaking station. There's like body parts flying everywhere.
It's fantastic.
It was fantastic. It's amazing. I fucking
So
love it.
good.
Speaking of playing games with your friends, this game is designed to play with your friends, and that's my number 2. Which is my number 2 is Left 4 Dead. Any of them, I love them all. And
Yeah, they're both great.
I played them so much. The story is great. The dialogue is like fantastic in that game.
Yeah.
The Gooch mentioned earlier, the fat zombies were great. All the different zombie types were great. This idea that you had to sort of work together in order for you to be successful was it's not groundbreaking, but as far as like survival horror, it was one of the best renditions, the best iterations of it. They did it the best, and I really think that like all of the different places that it took you, especially considering like all the different types of characters that you could, the 4 different types of characters you could play with, and the type of weapons you can use, and the type of, like I said again, reiterate, the dialogue in this fucking game is amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
I think it's probably the best zombie game ever made. It's just not there's one more game that has like more like nostalgia to me, but I fucking love it.
My number 2, Left 4 Dead, and it's Clint already hit a lot of the points that I was going to hit, but like, there's so much about this game that it's about survival, and it's you and 3 other people, and you're doing everything you can to survive. And you've got your weapons, you've got your med packs and all that stuff, and the locales that they put you on.
It's getting late.
But it's like you start at the top of a hospital and you've got to work your way down to the ground floor. And God damn it, where's this hick fucking accent coming from?
Dude.
Locale.
Town.
Hospital.
But I remember in Left 4 Dead 2, there's one where you're going through like was it like a fair or something?
Yeah.
But you end up at a stage, and in order to attract the helicopter, you got to let off like the stage flares and all that stuff. But that also attracts all the zombies, so you've got to fight all the zombies off while the helicopter comes to save you. That right there was amazing. But one of my greatest memories of this game is where Clint and I, we were at home, we were playing online with one of my coworkers. And I think actually 2 of my coworkers, and there's one level where you had to sneak into an elevator shaft and come down. But Clint and I went through first, and then the third guy came through as one of my coworkers, and he came in and he shut the door right in front of this other guy, and then the dude lost fucking mind. And Clint and I are sitting there laughing. My coworker's sitting there laughing his ass off too. And this guy's like, "The fuck you doing? You left me out!" Ah! And like apparently there was like a horde of zombies just coming for him. And like we closed the door, so they weren't coming after us, but they were just going after him, going crazy. But like that was something that you could do in that game, is that you can sabotage other people, whether it was intentional or not. But you can put them in situations, or you can put yourself in situations where either A, that pouring of zombies is going to come after you, or you could protect yourself from it, or you could put people in the situation where they were going to get fucked no matter what.
Yep.
And that's something I haven't seen in any other zombie game.
I really like the dynamic where everyone had to sort of get in the room to finish the level.
Yes.
So everyone had to sort of be safe.
Yeah. Like you could run off, but if you had another person playing with you, like you had to wait until they got there, and you had to defend yourself until they got there.
While you're in that bitch.
Yeah, because zombies will come after you too.
Oh fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic game. Gooch, number 1.
My number 1's Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, the Left 4 Dead series.
Actually, kind of surprising to me,
Why is that?
because whenever we played, like you were not a big fan of.
Well, that's just because he whined because it was a fucking console.
It was
shooter.
a console shooter. I mean, I was playing it on PC.
Oh God.
Dude, I whine when it's on console. I'm like, that's okay, I guess. But like, I love it on the PC. And it's
They
true.
they only made 2.
They only made 2, and obviously people want a 4th. But I mean,
A third.
a third.
Good God, you guys are fucking.
Dude,
my
it's
God.
late. I'm
Oh,
tired.
you guys! I corrected him on his
Dude,
math.
you said a blood of pool.
Yeah, but I'm also speaking in
You said locale.
a country's accent,
Locale.
and I ain't from Arkansas.
No, this is one of my favorite
Both are.
zombie games. It felt like you were because in Dying Light you're doing all this parkour crap and all this stuff, so it's like
which was cool.
It's cool, but
I like
in Left 4 Dead you felt like some dude with a
crowbar.
crap, I got a gun.
But the funny thing was, look at the way they were dressed.
Yeah.
They're not all military.
No, they're
fucking. They're
dude.
just,
One of them
dude was in his dress shirt like that. He just left.
one was
Yeah.
a high school coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like the chick was wearing like a red shirt and some jeans.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's like normal people. Like, all right, we got to survive. And if you run off, like I'm an F player. I'm a running gunner, so I was like, fuck this, I can do this.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever played it, I was like running and gunning. All of a sudden. It's a horde, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I started running the opposite way, and like I ran past everyone I was playing with, and they got ganked.
Yeah.
We had to reset because we
You know,
lost.
the thing is, there were some parts in that game that actually were really fucking hard. There's no way you could have done them by yourself.
One great part of the game is when you're walking through, you hear the
the screecher was
the witch.
The witch, yeah.
and you're
God.
like the second you hear that, everybody stops. You're like, oh shit, where is she? Where is she? And
When you're like in the subway and shit.
and but it's not even like whether you're subway, you're in like the mill, whatever. Wherever you are, you hear her crying. You always stop and you slow down.
Yeah, you have to.
You walk around, you try to find where she is, and you know you can't get too close. So you got to keep your distance. You got to, all right, I have to find a way around her without attracting other zombies, without waking her up. You go around, and you wake her up, you're done.
Yeah.
You are done.
Yeah, she's fucking really fucking difficult to kill. Yeah, it's
Number
a
one.
fucking great game. My number one, Resident Evil 2. I mean, I have to say Resident Evil 2 specifically because I think like Resident Evil 4, they weren't even fucking virus
No,
zombies. They were like
exactly.
fucking like some cult or some
They
bullshit
were like,
that.
yeah, they were infected with what the hell is like it was some Spanish word.
It
What
was fucking garbage.
What the hell was it?
I don't know,
It's just terrible.
You're the one that speaks
But
Spanish.
I didn't play Resident Evil 4.
Number 3 is pretty good too. Number 3 is pretty good too with Nemesis. It's actually a pretty good
Like,
game.
what sucks
but it's
is that-
basically Resident Evil 2 with just like some extra stuff.
Right.
Here's what sucks is Resident Evil 4 is probably technically the best Resident Evil game,
People consider it to be.
but in terms of like zombies, it's
No, I don't even think it's the best game. To me, it's terrible. I hate that fucking game.
Yeah.
Code Veronica's not bad either, by the way. But it's actually hella fucking hard though. Like the thing.
4?
Code Veronica.
Oh.
There's actually the thing I like about Resident Evil is it introduced this idea that like if you make a decision at any point in the game, it has reverberations later in the game. So if you do something like an hour into your gameplay, 4 hours later, you're fucked.
Really?
You're fucked. If you like waste something that you like you know you need ammo, right?
Yeah.
But if you go too far and you haven't stocked up enough, you'll never be able to beat the boss.
Oh, so
Because you just don't have enough ammo to hurt him enough.
Yeah.
Or you have to be like, I have to play this guy so many times because I have to hit him with every shot that I have.
Yeah.
Because that's all I have left. And I thought that was like an interesting dynamic that made the game very realistic.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of the things about Resident Evil 2 are very nostalgic to me. Like the music is fucking is fucking great.
Yeah.
Some of the sets that they go on to are just very, because a lot of the times on Resident Evil you had to like run to some area, do something, run back to another area, do something, and then run back to it so you could like get through it, right?
Right.
But along the way you were unsure whether you were going to encounter something or whether the zombie is going to respawn or something like that.
Right.
Or you knew that like you would play the game enough times that when you got to this particular area, you knew this thing was going to pop out at you. But every single time it did, it was still so sudden that you were just trying to like handle it, right?
Yeah.
And I remember playing the game so much that you can beat the game in like a couple hours if
Right.
if you really
Yeah.
you just hammer through it. But the replayability of the game was what made it so good, and like getting like the big weapons, and you know, I really like the little touches, like, oh, in order to save your game, you had to get an ink thing so that you could like use the typewriter to save your game, or you had to get to the safe room to do it. And then in order for you to like stock things, you had to like go to a locker. Just little things like that, you know. I mean, obviously, like Metal Gear and stuff like this too. And then the story was just so dark, but yet so this world that they created that was at the time, video games I think were barely starting to get into the cinematics and like telling stories that were like comparable to films. And this was one of the first ones that really did it, where it was like, this is a movie.
Yeah.
I'm just playing it instead, right? And I think it just took you to so many different places, especially part 2. It's my favorite. It's the one that I like the most. I still don't think it's as good as Left 4 Dead is still probably better though.
Yeah.
My number one game, Dead Rising.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Dead Rising.
Of course.
It's the Dawn of the Dead version of a video game. You are a photographer. You're stuck in a mall, and there's so many aspects of this game that's hard to like pinpoint that make it so awesome. Like, you have to be a photojournalist to where you have to take like records of what's going on inside this mall. You have to fight just hordes and hordes of zombies. But not only do you have to fight zombies, like literal zombies, you have to fight like crazy cult leaders. You have to fight maniacs who have been like turned crazy because of like everything that's going on in this world.
And it was like a GTA type game, like a sandbox type game.
Yeah, it was no, it was a huge sandbox world, and like you were running around, and like you had the freedom to go wherever you want. You can go in these. What's cool too is that you can go inside like specific stores and use items in the stores. So, like say you went to a sporting goods store, you can get like a hockey stick and you can shoot pucks at the zombies.
Let's talk about the best one,
Which one?
the shower head.
Oh God. So you can grab like you can go into the bathrooms. If there was a shower in there, you can grab a shower head, and you walk around to a zombie. If you've got the shower head equipped, you attack the zombie with the shower head. You stick the shower head in their head, and just blood just pours out of
the shower head.
Of the shower head.
Blood pours out of the shower head.
It's so awesome.
It's fantastic.
And it's small things like that to where every item that you grab has a different effect on the zombie, and it has a different animation. So like you can grab they had because it was a Capcom game, they had the Mega Man blaster. So like you put on the Mega Man hat, you put on a Mega Man arm blaster, but like it wasn't a real blaster, it was like a Nerf blaster. So like you're walking around and you're essentially shooting Nerf balls at zombies. So like a Nerf ball is not going to have a good effect on a zombie, and so it's like pop, 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 things like that. But like you grab a samurai sword at the knife and gun shop, and you're just slicing zombies in half. And what was great about the game is that they were able to have so many mobs in the game. There were just you could walk out in the parking lot and there was just hundreds and hundreds of zombies. It was
something you had
unbelievable.
something
Like
you-
chopping people down.
But
chopping
it
people
was
down.
I mean, there was
something- it was
literally hundreds of
yeah.
them standing because it was a third-person game, so you could see them all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was something you had never seen in a video game before.
And it wasn't choppy,
No, not at all.
which was great.
Yeah.
Was it an Xbox 360 only game?
Yes, I believe so.
It's still fantastic. It was a fantastic game.
So good. And
Would have been my number 6.
I know the sequel is on PC. The sequel is not as good because of the story, but still, Dead Rising, so good.
What do we think is our let's
Let's do it quickly because
get our consensus together. What did you?
Meme time.
I had a Dying Light number 5. You had it number 2.
I had number
Devo
2.
didn't have it at all.
No.
What did you? I had Last of Us number 4. You guys didn't have it at all.
No.
So it's not on the list. You guys didn't have Dead Space.
No.
What was your other ones? What did you have 4?
Killing Floor was one of mine, which was like the number 4.
You had Resident Evil.
Resident Evil was number
4.
3 for me.
4 for me.
Yeah.
It was number 1 for me.
That's a good 3.
Well, we don't have a 4 yet, but okay.
We don't even have a 5.
Dying Light.
Oh, Dying Light. That's a good 5. Fine. That's a good.
Because it was on 2 of ours. Hold on. Actually, maybe Dead Rising should be number 4, because it was his number 1.
Mine's not even on the list.
Yeah, but I have it. I have it as number 6.
Oh, Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, yeah. And he had it number 1, so we'll do that. Okay. The number 3 we'll have Resident Evil.
Okay.
Which is crazy to me. It's like number 3. And then
Left 4 Dead probably number 1.
I think so.
So what's our number 2?
I don't know.
Maybe Resident Evil should put down to number 2.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then number 5 is I don't know.
I don't think there's even a consensus on number 5.
I don't think so. Yeah, the only other ones I had that you guys didn't have was Last of Us and Dead Space. Which ones did you have?
I had.
Put Dead Rising on number 5. What is it on?
It's
on
number 3.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dying Light's number 4.
I had Dead Rising, Left 4 Dead, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Resident Evil 2, and Infected.
What did you have?
I had Left 4 Dead, Killing Floor, Resident Evil, Dying Light. Left 4 Dead was number 1.
We don't really have any. So the rest of them really aren't shared. So we have a top 4: Left 4 Dead number 1, Resident Evil number 2, Dead Rising 4, Dying Light 5. Excuse me, number 4. I have fucking missed one. Either way. Okay, let's finish this off with a question for you guys.
All right.
and then we will wrap up zombies for a long time.
Yeah.
We talked about them a lot. How would you prepare for the zombie apocalypse? How would you prepare to stay alive? Would you want to stay alive? Where would you stay? What weapons would you want to wield? Who would you want to live with? What do you think the best government system in the zombie apocalypse is?
All right, so prepare for zombie apocalypse. I don't think you can prepare unless you're a fucking nut. So
you're going to be a right-wing crazy man?
yeah, I mean, if you're a fucking nut, yeah, you'll be prepared for it. So assuming that the zombie apocalypse already happened and you're trying to gather stuff, I think that's what people think about being prepared for it. Because if you're being prepared for it, that's stupid. Best gun, best weapon. Let's say best. I'll be going for my best melee weapon. Best melee weapon, probably a
samurai sword.
No, it's too close.
Like a fucking machete?
No, it's too close. Something that would keep you away from it. Like maybe something like that's easy. Something that you at least poke something. Because
like
remember,
a bow?
No, because like a melee weapon. Melee weapon, I'd probably pick some like. It's too unwieldy, but it'd be one of the better weapons to use.
Morningstar?
No, like a pike. Something you can just poke something with it. And keep stuff away from you. Remember, you want to keep the zombies away from you. The closer you get, the worse you're at. So, I mean, a samurai sword takes skill to use. If anything, a small axe, so you can just, or like a, you know what? Like a small handheld weapon that has a spike at the end of it, like a I have a tomahawk that has a sharp edge and has a pointed edge at the end, so that you can just kill the brain,
bash,
pull it out, kill the brain, pull it out. You know, melee weapon. A gun, probably like an M4 carbine, a single shot weapon that you don't waste ammo. There's plenty of ammo out there for it, so I'd probably go with that. A pistol. Probably some like a Colt, although it does have a lot of kickback, but there's a lot of ammo out there for it, and it has a lot of stopping power compared to a 9mm. Where I'd want to stay, probably not a mall, because obviously the people, but I don't know, somewhere away from people.
In the desert?
No, not desert, because you want a solid like, water source. So
forest.
Yeah, a forest somewhere, possibly maybe on a hill somewhere, so you can see what's coming up from where you're at.
Yeah.
So possibly
like a high ground.
A high ground area.
What type of people would you want to live with?
Probably people that would probably get along with me. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want someone that's too shy, I guess, like they're not willing to fight. But people are willing to fight, but also willing not to give up their humanity over fucking, like.
What do you think the best like system of governance is during a situation like that?
It would take a while to. Right now, like at the beginning, survival would be the best way. Once you establish it, I don't know. I'm not a government major. I mean,
I'm talking about like just even like from like a 10 people.
10
thing.
people. I mean, it would still. Once
you need like a leader.
We're established. It would probably be a leader, but I would go like, all right, so we'd vote for who you think are the best.
Yeah, but maybe you don't have a fucking vote to see who the leader is.
Who's the leader is?
But
like,
you need like a one person that can make a decision that everyone follows.
Well, that's fine.
You don't have time to fucking vote.
No.
On shit.
I'm saying once it's the area is established, then we can make a government. When nothing's established, you can't. You have to have a leader. If they don't want to listen to the leader, they can go. But once an area is established, when you have a homestead, once it's established, okay, I'll give up my leadership to vote for other people, right? So, but obviously, when it's not established, when your homestead's not established, you can't. You have to have the strongest person, the one that people are willing to follow.
Yeah,
type thing.
For me, it's tough because it's like if you know what's going to happen, then you can probably better prepare for it. But like, say like it just all of a sudden it's like the guy across the street's like a zombie. Like, what can you do to prepare for it? So, assuming that we know that there's a zombie apocalypse happening, like you want to make sure you have enough food. obviously. But you have to, you gotta defend yourself. And for me, it's all about melee stuff. Like you can have ranged weapons, but you're gonna run out of bullets unless you can find a way to like manufacture stuff, which nobody really does. I don't think they do. So. Like,
Alt-right nuts do, maybe not. But
maybe they do. Maybe they do. But like for me, like whether it's an axe or a samurai sword or a baseball bat or something, like I feel like a longer range melee weapon is the best. But it's gonna be successful with like singular instances. But if you get a horde of like zombies chasing after you, like I mean. Looking around the house here, like there's not a whole lot that we would have at our advantage to make us survive in that sort of situation. So it's like you think about the best that you can do. It's like, what is the best melee weapon to give you the best advantage if you have a 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, maybe 3-on-1, and I think, just a super sharp samurai blade where you can just slice through fools is the way to go.
I think the issue with the samurai blade is it's long, and unless you're trained how to use it, you can hurt yourself. Yeah. A machete is like shorter, and less likely to hurt yourself.
And it's unrealistic too, because you're not going to run into a house that has a samurai sword.
Yeah,
a machete,
you'll
buy one. A machete. Well,
buy one.
Yeah, but you be prepared to have an actual samurai sword, not the shit that you buy off the mall. That's like,
what, you mean like shit from Japan?
No, an actual sword. Because if you buy a shitty shit, it's not going to work. You actually need a real sword.
Yeah.
It's if you buy the shit off like the catalogs, and it might say a samurai sword. It looks like a samurai sword, but that shit ain't a samurai
it's
sword.
Not meant to fucking
exactly. I mean, where are you gonna find a true to honest?
And you can find them
samurais
with the internet,
you can. But I mean,
if you're looking for it after it already started,
no
you're fucked.
way. Yeah,
I think this is a good point that you bring up is that the main reason why the zombie outbreak is so effective is because people don't think it's a zombie outbreak.
Yeah.
Even though in these worlds, people have to obviously understand that a zombie is an idea that could exist, but people don't think that when it does happen, that's actually what it is, and that's actually what takes people by surprise and why everyone dies.
Right.
Because you actually, like the little girl's in the room, you don't think she's a zombie. Why would you?
Yeah.
And that's why they died, right?
Exactly.
Who would you want to live with, Devo? And where?
That's tough.
Obviously your family, of course, obviously.
Yeah, family. But you want to get, to me, I would think a high altitude, densely populated place, because zombies.
Densely populated?
Not densely. Not
sparsely.
A sparsely populated place, because you figure high altitude is gonna be difficult for a undead person to climb. Same time, not a lot of people there. There's not going to be a lot of flesh for them to want to consume. So,
they might stay away from it.
Exactly.
They might just stay away from it naturally. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can have like a cabin out in the woods that is nowhere near a city, and the zombies could be taking over the city. But even if they want to explore outside the city, like they're probably not going to go too far out, because that's not where the food is. The food is internal in the city that they're in, so they're going to stay around there.
What about the best form of governance?
At that point, I don't think there's any sort of, I think it's going to be everybody on their own.
So this is another point that I want to bring up to you guys that most of these books don't consider. They're just, the zombie survival is telling you how to like prepare to kill zombies and survive against zombies. But really, from what we've seen in movies, games, shit like that, actually what you really need to be worried about is fucking people. So, yeah, how do you fucking prepare to protect yourself against other fucking people? That's really what the problem is. Eventually, you're going to get to... It's really like playing a video game. Once you play a video game and you play against a computer, eventually you figure out what the vulnerability of the computer is, and then you can beat the computer every fucking time. It's really when you play against other human beings that it always stays difficult.
Yeah.
And this will be the same thing with zombies. Zombies are going to be predictable. You find some way to kill them, and over and over and over again, it's going to work over and over and over. But people, they're going to adapt. It's really a problem.
I mean... Like,
I don't know. You just got to be wary about them. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, as human people, we're social animals. We need to socialize with other humans to survive. Mind you, that's our strength and our weakness at the time, because like you said, other people might be looking to hurt you and steal what you have. But as long as you're well prepared for those people.
It's like going back to medieval times.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, there's nothing else you can do. Be well prepared. If they're willing to barter with you and deal with you, fine. If they're not, well, then you gotta learn to deal with them in a violent way. I mean, that's the
true.
bottom line, and that's the bottom line. I mean, that's exactly what you have to do. But like I said, to survive as humankind, we need to be social animals. We are social animals. What can we do? That's what we are. So. We go back to feudal times, past feudal times, before feudal times, when we were living in tribes and shit,
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do. Learn to live with other tribes, stay away from their territory. You stay away from ours. We'll trade. And that's all we got to do. We'll fight a common enemy, which are the zombies. But if you guys don't want to deal with our rules, you just stay over there and do what have to deal with our rules. That's all you got to do.
So, final question. Last question.
How many more questions are there? There's like the final one was
I
there.
got pissed
I didn't
so
say
bad.
know,
too.
exactly.
This is the final one.
Fuck.
If you knew that you were going to become a zombie, 100% you're going to become a zombie, what would you do before you were going to become? How would you prepare to become a zombie? Other than have a rock hard dick, Gooch.
I mean, what can you do to prepare a zombie?
I know. I just tell the people.
Hey, I'm gonna be a zombie.
Yeah, exactly. Tell the people
Watch out!
right after I turn, just shoot me in the head. I don't know. Kill myself.
Like that's like
So
that's
you would want
hard.
to be one. You'd prevent it.
Like you're asking the question, like, all right, you're ready to be a zombie. Like you're ready. Like you were accepting this. Like I wouldn't want to be a zombie.
No, I wouldn't want to be a zombie.
Like if
Who would wanna be a zombie?
if I knew I'm gonna be a zombie, like maybe I would just kill myself, or maybe like I would find a way to prevent myself from like turning.
Yeah, like okay, so or if I'm with people, and I have like the ability to like have them kill me, I just have them kill me. Why not? Fuck it. You just shoot me in the head. That's it. I'm not gonna do any damage to them, because that's the thing. Is like if you're living in a society that you may cause damage to your other people, to your other your civilization or whatever, your family or your friends or whoever, your community, and you're gonna be the problem when you turn. Fuck it, I'll do it myself before I turn. I'm gonna die anyways. It's like at that point, there's no heaven or hell. At that point, motherfuckers are zombies. What are you worried about? So no, I don't want to be a zombie, especially that. If I'm by myself in the middle of a bunch of zombies, I might turn.
Maybe.
Yeah, what the hell? And there's no one there to the person to hurt. But if I'm by myself, a bunch of million zombies, why not?
Yeah.
But if I'm around people that I care about, yes, don't turn me into a zombie. Destroy my brain. End it. That's it. Don't burn them up. Burn me. Make sure I don't come back.
Burn the motherfucker.
Burn me.